shit. Welcome back to the Devil's Salad in the series we call 50 by 4. Today's topic will be movies and TV series that stick. Today's tea is Stash, Spice Dragon Red Chai. So, let's go brew that tea, shall we? Alright, here we are back with the tea. As I said before, Spice Red Dragon or Dragon Red Chai from Stash. It's got cinnamon, rubio. I think that's Rooibos. That's some weird, I don't know. Ginger root and clove. You can definitely smell the cinnamon in it. That's like a Christmas drink almost. That's like if you had something like, got that Christmas vibe to it, I think. Anyways, like I said, today's topic, movies and TV shows that stick. Sorry for the picture. I was trying to keep the kilobytes down because it's a lot easier if I'm fucking resizing it using infrared, blah, 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 blah. Who gives a fuck? No one's watching this shit anyways. A couple of that I want to talk about is Married with Children, as you see here, with old Al Bundy. Fucking guy, man. Al Bundy's the dude. That's a very, very funny show. Based in reality, because they make fun of stuff that was happening at the time and whatnot. It was on Fox. When Fox was just starting out, before it became a big old propaganda fucking website or whatever. Al Bundy is probably the more modern, the 90s version of, I can't remember what that fucking guy's name is that was in, I think, All in the Family. He sat in an armchair. Real rude, racist motherfucker. Archie Bunker, I think his name was. I'd never seen the show. That was way before my time. Well, not way before my time, but that was before my time. But Al Bundy is basically the more modernish version of that. Before everybody started getting into the whole, you can't say this, you can't say that, Al Bundy was saying it. So I recommend that one. If you want comedy at its most, how do I say this? Simple and understanding, with references that you could understand if you're not like 10 years old right now or something. That's definitely one of my favorite shows. Another show that is more recent that I really think that everybody should watch is Breaking Bad, which everybody should already know that anyways. A chemistry teacher that you could have had it all but didn't, chose to go the other route, and then ends up with cancer, a terminal cancer, and decides he wants to make meth, starts a kingpin, becomes this evil, bad motherfucker. Just go watch it. Even if drugs and violence and all that stuff isn't your thing, go watch it, because the storytelling is awesome. And the last TV series that I'm going to talk about before I move on to a couple movies is The Walking Dead. And I know everybody's saying, oh my god, The Walking Dead is garbage now, they ruined it. And for most of that is pretty much true. I think that if they would have stuck by the comics, they didn't have to stick to it to a T. They could have changed a little bit of things around and all this other stuff. But if you compare the first couple seasons to like season 7 and 8, very dry. There's references to the comic books, but they changed so much stuff around, and that's, I think, most people lost interest because they loved the show because of how brutal and how awesome the comics are. or graphic novel or whatever you want to call them. By this point, if you put all the comics together, it'd be a fucking graphic series novel. I mean, there's a bunch of them, and it's ended, and I don't even know what happened at the end. Maybe, I don't even know if I want to watch the last episode of this last season that they're doing, because I haven't read the comics through. But to move on, if you noticed in the beginning, and they're following the comics and stuff, they like, the same with Breaking Bad, they like to use music at the right time. Like, for instance, spoiler alert, at the very last episode of Breaking Bad, when he gets shot or whatever and he's dying, and he goes and he sees the little lab that's set up there, and he touches it, and they start playing Baby Blue, you know what's up. You feel that shit. It's the same way with The Walking Dead, or how it used to be. There's one moment that I really, really like, and it's when they first get to Alexandria, after they escape Terminus and all that other stuff, and the cannibals. And they make it to Terminus, and they join this new community, and Rick is all nice and clean-shaven, you know. He's looking like the old cop that he used to be back in when the world was still the world. And he goes through all these things, and I just want to point out that I fucking was one of the first ones to notice when he was walking through town waving at everybody, looking at their little wristbands or whatever the fuck it was that the kid made him. I'm from Alexandria. If you look on the street sign, it says Morgan Street. And I fucking called that shit as soon as I seen that. The second I seen that, I said, hey, bet you Morgan's coming. Sure enough, he showed up right when fucking Rick went crazy and fucking killed the one, his lover's, the girl he's after's husband, because the husband is jealous, saying he's ruining everything, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to ruin everything, if you've never seen it. But an episode or two before that, when he first gets there, and he starts fucking getting that tick, because he's been out in the survival situation, he hears all them zombies on the other side of that big, giant metal wall, and he goes up and he touches it, and you can see that he just misses the excitement and the thrill, and he knows that out there he's the bad motherfucker. In there he's the good guy, but he knows what he's got deep inside him. He's the baddest motherfucker outside in the survival situation. So, and at the same time, they're playing the Bee Gees, Spicks and Specks, and they couldn't have picked a better fucking song, because it just plays in so well. And now I don't know what's going to happen with this new stuff. I know they're going to do an episode of Here Comes Negan, or I can't remember what the book was, but it's the origin stories of Negan, and how his wife was dying in the hospital, and how he came to find Lucille and wrap it with barbed wire. It's probably going to be one of the better episodes to see this guy change from the basketball coach to the fucking, the evil Negan. So hopefully that one is going to be worth it. Last season, like I said. So hopefully, go back to the comics, keep everything as original as possible, and people will love it. And you might even get another season. But if they're going to end it, then it don't matter. So, now let's move on to a couple movies. If there were aliens that landed and I had to show them one comedy, one horror, and one drama, the comedy and the drama, I could show them one movie. The horror, that's a whole nother one. I will talk about that next. But for comedy and horror or drama together, I would show them. Oh, that ain't it. I thought that was. Oh, that's Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. That ain't it. It must be on the other shelf. But Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with John Candy, Steve Martin. I tell you what. And you gotta make sure they watch the unedited version when he sits in the car park and he starts flipping out about his fucking car being taken, and he has to walk all the way back. And he starts saying fuck to the one lady after crossing the highway and shit. Oh my god. If you haven't seen that scene unedited, and you've only seen it on the TV when he goes back to the rental and she's talking on the phone and shit. He drops the F-bomb. I can't even tell you how many fucking times. But it is probably one of the greatest comedy scenes you've ever seen. But that movie is also very, very good as a drama. Of course, John Hughes, 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, blah, blah, blah. But John Candy and Steve Martin, John Candy is fucking awesome. He didn't get a lot of his dues. He died early because, obviously because of his heart being bad and stuff. But that, for drama and comedy, I'd just show him that one movie. If I had to, if it was separate, I'd just show the drama. For drama, I'd show, that. And then for comedy, I'd probably show him like Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke. That's a fucking good one. But for horror, the one horror movie that will stick for me for the rest of my life, and it's not even that good of a horror movie, but I watched it. My parents were they let us watch horror movies, and we watched a lot of weird horror movies, like Demonic Toys. You ever seen Demonic Toys? That's a Charles Band classic. I know like a lot of Charles Band movies, Subspecies, Demonic Toys, what's that other one? He's got a bunch of the Full Moon Productions or whatever. Used to only get them at the rental store downtown when they were still on VHS tapes. So those are great, but the one that fucking really, really fucking got me when I was younger was Sleepaway Camp. Now, if anybody knows about Sleepaway Camp, it's not that scary of a movie. It really isn't. But when you're a young kid and you're watching that kind of shit, especially with the ending on that fucking movie, man, that shit'll fucking stay with you. I'm telling you. Where we at? Holy fuck, 11 minutes already? See, I'm so bad at this shit. But especially trying to keep it concise and like to the point, and I should write scripts. I bet that's what all these motherfuckers do. They probably write scripts and shit. But so let's just end it there. But since we're talking about movies and TV shows, I'm thinking if I can figure out on this how everybody does the reactions and stuff, I'm gonna start a watch with me. And I think I'm gonna start with a movie that is very underrated. It didn't get its due because it was a failure, and it was towards the end of his career, because he died of a drug overdose. But this one right here, see that? Almost Heroes with Chris Farley and Matthew Perry. It's a good fucking movie, and it's funny as shit. And I think I'm gonna do a watch with me with that, and then I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna do a full Married with Children. I'm going to do 2 episodes at a time. They're only about 22 minutes apiece. So, stay tuned for that. I got a lot of shit, as you can tell. It's been a while since I uploaded. So, all I'm going to say is, I'm going to try to the weather's starting to turn. So, I'm going to be outside and trying to do shit. And so, I'm not going to really have time for a lot of this stuff. I got time. It's just doing it. So, everybody stay cool. Don't be a fucking idiot. See you guys on the next one. Oh, shut up. See, the fucking Mexican ruins it every time. Damn dog. Fucking chihuahuas never shut the fuck up. Chihuahuas.